American Coney Island. So good, even Al Roker from the Today Show eats here. Not like that other guy, Al Joker, who eats at Lafayette. So make sure you're a Roker and not a Joker. American Coney Island.
No bullshit. No bullshit. No bullshit.
Colby, let's just did breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
No bullshit.
No, don't turn that off. Share, 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 because we got news this episode. I want to call it, we told you so, we told you so, we told you so. Attorney General Dana Nessa fucks up Flint. No justice, no piece of the American pie. And everybody look up. There's Dan Gilbert's skyscraper. Wait, not that high, a little bit lower. About the level of a liquor store. He coming around trying to mooch money off the poorest people in America. I can't believe it. We have the Honorable Coleman A. Young II with us from the Detroit City Council to give us his view on that. And, as we told you before, Chief of Police James Craig, his campaign was doomed from the beginning. Why? Because there was a weasel in his wallet. We told him there was a weasel. He's joining us.
He's laughing right now.
Look at that man.
He's laughing hardcore right now.
Well, he knows it's true because this is the new bullshit news hour.
Oh my God. Okay, breaking news.
Oh wow, breaking news already.
Quickly. In the nursing home debacle, last week we told you that the elderly living in the assisted living facilities,
Yes.
were never counted. They never kept track of 2/3 of the entire elderly population. There will be investigative hearings by the House Oversight Committee here in Lansing, Michigan.
Oh,
yes,
good. So
big fucking deal.
So someone's gonna investigate it.
Yeah, we got to, man. We went okay, but that's what you get here. Good afternoon, Karen.
Good afternoon, Charlie.
Look what we did. We're gonna get some at least some notice and an idea of what went on with our elders.
Well, finally, that's a good thing. I mean, because you have people who had loved ones in those facilities that really deserve to know.
And by the way, they're still in there. At COVID, like the spike's going to be back in September that the state's not telling you. And what are we doing for them? Christ.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
Oh, breaking news.
That seems to be the attitude.
Breaking news. The Detroit Public School District has announced the mask mandate is over.
Oh.
It's over. 2 days after school's out for the summer. Hooray! What the fuck are we living in?
Well, no summer school then.
All right, before we get to Flint, you got to stay with us. We went to Flint, and we're going to track down the people that brought you Flint. But first, I want to remind you, David Hall Mortgage. I went to the bank to get something notarized. I'm looking up at the bank telling me what they're going to give me for a mortgage. It took me 45 fucking minutes just to get a notary.
Oh,
what happens if you get that house you want and you got to wait around 45 minutes for a fucking notary?
No way. I'm
you
gonna
call
be approved.
David Hall. That's why they got 5-star reviews. Call 866-CALL-HALL or callhallfirst.com. Get busy on your American dream. How was that?
I love it.
Oh. I tell you what else about the American dream. You earn your money, you save your money. When you get your money better be there and it better be worth something. And it's not that way anymore. So what do? Call a guy that knows money, investment, savings, retirement.
All of it.
Luke Nowacki at Pinnacle Wealth Strategies. 248-663-4748. What up, Joe Luke? Thinking Gold, man. I'm thinking gold. They ain't gonna let Putin move any more gold. And we're gonna be gold scarcity. Hopefully gold's gonna go like gas. Sit at home.
Gold is expensive.
It is. So is gas.
So is
Very
premium. So is
expensive.
premium gas.
Yeah, I know.
You keep that gold. Oh, we got big demolition news in Detroit. We'll bring that to you later. You want to know who used to monitor the demolition?
I
When
would
it was
love to.
going well in Detroit, it was Barry Ellentuck at ADR Associates.
Mm-hmm.
No, consultants, sorry, Barry. ADR Consultants. That's who used to do it. That's when it was good. That's when shit got done right, on time, and on budget. And guess what? When you open your mouth, you know how it is, especially in Michigan, Wayne County, Detroit, man, this shit is so corrupt. So if you want the shit done right, ethically, and honestly, for all you municipal needs, you call Barry Ellentuck for a free consultation at 248-318-9424. Thanks for the work you do, sir. Now, right to it. Karen, Flint, the Supreme Court ruled 6-0 unanimously that Dana Nessel enran the judicial process by getting a judge in secret to look at evidence that nobody else got to see, and then indict seven or eight? Doesn't matter because none of them are indicted anymore.
That's true.
One judge wrote in the Flint water debacle, right? This varying stuff like involuntary manslaughter and on down to like what Snyder did. He got that jaywalking
Yeah, a
ticket.
slap on the wrist.
Yeah. Doesn't even matter because it's gone. So one judge called it a shortcut around the judicial process, prosecutorial process, and another one called it the Star Chamber. It's some shit from, the Middle Ages
Yeah.
where they do shit in secret and they're the judge, the jury, and the executioner. So, long story short, Karen, when 2014, 8 years later, the Supreme Court just told Nessel, take it back down to the lower court, take it back. Basically, it's going to be tossed, and nobody's going to pay $1, and nobody's going to do a day in jail.
And the people in Flint still don't have clean water or any type of closure to the massacre, because to me, that's what it has been, because it's going to have generational and long-term effects that they've had to endure.
Now, it's important to say this is show number 195. We'll do something special for show number 200. But show 1 was Flint, and it was the special prosecutor Todd Flood who was in panel to investigate it under Republican Bill Schuette. Now, candidate Nessel at the time was calling it a kangaroo investigation, politically motivated. It was bumbled, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was building up and up and up. And they had charged 15 people with various things like involuntary manslaughter. So Nessel, making it a political show, says, as a candidate, I'm getting rid of it. I'm firing them, and we're going to start over.
What a joke. What a joke. Look what I got her, too.
Because that thing was building, and who's going to join us later is Todd Flood by telephone. He's coming out to talk.
Good.
But my thing is this. There's involuntary manslaughter for all the health executives that kept their mouths shut. But there was also going to be a racketeering, a RICO case on the assholes that put this thing together. This was a $300 million deal for a little town that couldn't borrow any money.
The financial guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are they today? So, Zach Jr. over here, Byron, the head of photography, and I decided, let's take a trip to Flint and see if we can find out what all the money men are doing these days. We got that?
Yeah, here we go.
Let it roll. Now, before we update you on the pathetic end to the mass poisoning of Flint, a little background. Flint was broke. It was taken over by an emergency manager. They couldn't even borrow. But the geniuses in this town figured something out. Detroit charges us too much for water. If we build our own water plant, we can charge the same amount and keep the difference. That's a lot of contracts. That's a lot of contributions. That's a lot of steak dinners with nice Chianti. But how can Flint borrow when it's broke? They created an emergency, and then they had to start paying on their borrowing immediately when the new water plant wasn't even fixed. So what'd they do? They started drinking out of the sewer known as the Flint River. Now what you find in the Flint River are car batteries and corpses. And then what'd they do? They shipped it over there to the water treatment plant. Little problem. Water treatment plant's so old it can't treat water. So they started shipping the people garbage, swill, not fit for a pig. Tens of thousands were poisoned. Hundreds died. And here we are. No justice. And now for our story.
I couldn't understand why Kim Worthy, Hamad, Ness and them came in and dismissed those charges. I was suspicious then and I'm suspicious now. Political motivations, Gretchen Whitmer trying to get elected at the time, Snyder endorsing Whitmer, Mazarin and all the big shots behind the scenes. And Flint residence, in my opinion, was used as a pawn, high-profile case, water crisis. I had a lot to do with the strategy to declare the emergency. And we did all that hard work. Then them numbskulls who hadn't been in the fight, Gretchen Whitmer, Neely, and others, then almost said it, messed it up.
Nobody did a day in jail. Not $1 got returned. There's a bunch of big shots out there. Where would I find these big shots today? What do you think they're doing?
Neely probably scrambling somewhere in his office.
He's in
calling
there?
back and
The mayor's
forth.
in there?
I see his car.
Because the mayor was a city councilman and he pushed for it.
He pushed to use the Flint River water. He gave tours. He was pushing in the plant to use it. And now media, nobody is saying anything about that.
Well, that's funny.
You a media.
That's right.
So yeah,
Let's go.
somebody.
Let's go find the mayor.
Let's go find him.
Let's go find him. Hey, bottled water. Don't use Flint 2022. Don't drink the water. Okay. Oh. Hi, is the mayor in? He's not?
No.
Can you have him give me a call? Can I leave my number? He knows me. Okay. Is he having lunch?
I'm not sure. I know he was in a meeting.
But not here, in a meeting someplace else.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just pulled in. I seen that he was here, so I'm always highly suspicious of certain politicians telling the truth and having their staff tell the truth and folks lying and telling half-truth. I know this one. He will trick you, lie to the community.
So the mayor's tax-funded car is here.
Look at the plate.
The mayor's not here, but his car is. Hello, this is Charlie. I'm very well.
Hi, so I have the mayor on the line and he was wondering what it was you would like to speak with him about.
Oh, I would like to speak to the mayor about the water,
About the water?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you Channel 4?
I'm sorry?
Are you from Channel 4, you said?
No, this is Charlie LeDuff from the No Bullshit News Hour. Bigger than Channel 4. That's a strange turn of events.
Within seconds, he magically appears.
From somewhere deep inside this phone.
I'm going to send over your phone number to him and he'll be in touch, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
You can poison 100,000 people and get away with it if you're a rich white person or, a government official.
Well, the mayor's black.
Yeah, but he's not being charged.
No, but he also he voted for it.
Yeah, he sure did. And he put up videos, which have now been taken down, about supporting drinking from the Flint River.
Oh, we can't find those. They're gone, huh?
Yeah, those are taken down.
Did you approve of the job that the former administration was doing here?
I approve of Todd Flood and his team because they spent 3 years, one, coming to Flint, getting to know the people, gathering our evidence that we had collected. He respected the evidence we had collected and used it to file proper charges in the proper courts under the proper precedents. And he didn't trample over anybody's constitutional rights. So they stuck. the indictment stuck and the cases were moving forward to trial for manslaughter, which is a pretty big deal. If Dana Nessel, the Attorney General, and her, Solicitor General had Dana Nessel wanted to get these charges to stick. One, she would have stuck with the original team. She would have brought them in to teach her brand new team all about what's going on, what they had learned for 3 years, and the successes that they had moving forward. But instead, she scrapped it all the expertise, tossed it out, didn't talk to Flint residents, didn't let us know anything, and then moved forward with much weaker cases. And also appointing, a Solicitor General who has never, and I repeat, never, had spearheaded a criminal case through trial. So why would you do that?
What do you want to tell Nessel?
Why? Why did you fail us? And don't say it's an accident. Don't say it's a whoopsie. And don't keep saying that justice delayed is justice denied. It's not delayed. It's just done. It's justice went to the garbage can where you threw it 3 years ago.
Well, now we're going to go try and see Jeff Wright, the Genesee County Drain Commissioner, the man that put the whole Carragandi Water Authority together. Lots of money, lots of contracts, lots of bonds, lots of campaign contributions, and lots of pain. I heard he doesn't like me. How you doing? Jeff Wright, please.
He is not here at the moment. I'm Kevin Sylvester. I'm the communications director.
Kevin, his car's out there.
Who is?
Jeff's.
That's not his vehicle.
No, out there, over there. Okay, can you come out?
I can't leave here.
Okay,
If I can ask what's regarding?
the water, the charges, the Supreme Court throwing out the charges, no, must be a good day here.
That has nothing to do with our office.
No, it's Carragandi Water Authority. It's Jeff Wright. It's a drain company. He put the whole thing in motion, man. Now, come on, it's me, dude.
Okay.
So he's not here.
I'm not aware of him being here now.
Check his office?
I will after just to make sure, but I don't believe he's here.
Check his office for me, please, before I leave.
If you'll go ahead and contact me, we can try to set something up. That's all I can do for you now.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Let's try Ed Kurtz's house, the former emergency manager who signed the order to drink pig swill.
Hey, Ed! Eddie!
The emergency manager, they took over control of Flint. The Governor Snyder appointed him, and he's the one that signed it. Drink from the river. See how Ed's doing, how he's feeling today. It's Charlie again. I'm not here to bust balls today. I'm here to congratulate you for getting away with it. Poisoning tens of thousands of people. And making money while doing it. Only in America. See if, he still got the fountain. Good old Detroit water. Well, at Ed Kurtz's house, from Flint Township, far away from Flint, where the man got away with it, Charlie LeDuff, along with Zach and Byron. No bullshit news.
It was vintage Charlie.
Man.
Yeah, and good point. They got away with it.
Let me welcome in here. Have we got Todd on the phone?
You should be.
Todd, you there?
I'm here, bro. I'm here. How are you?
I'm real good, man. Thanks for joining. This is Todd Flood, the former special prosecutor under former Attorney General Bill Schuette, who put 3 arduous years into this, along with Annie Arena, the former head of the Detroit Bureau of the FBI. You guys were knocking it out. Nessel comes in and flushes it all away. Todd, let me ask it this way. Nessel said your case sucked and couldn't be won, and that's why she had to flush it and bring it all back. Do you agree with that? Where would we be today?
No, I don't agree with that. But what do you expect her to say? It's, politics in a courtroom. That's where it doesn't belong. I'm not going to throw cast stones. It's just not who I am. But no, we were winning. You know that as well as I do. We had, just in the Nick Line exam, I just happened to look. We had over 91 exhibits. We had multiple pleas that people testified against Nick. One of the judges said we proved our case at the preliminary exam beyond a reasonable doubt. We did it with transparency. We did it in the open courtroom, so you could see it. Charlie, You know, you're one of those investigators in our country that people aspire to be, but you were there. You saw it. It didn't take rocket science to figure out how we connected the dots. That's what we did. And, you know, you and I have spoken before, so it's not a secret, but that, you know, this is hard for me. This is an emotional case for me. I have lifelong friends there, and, you know, I don't care about anything other than getting a modicum of justice for them and, you know, health for them. And I just don't know how to process all of this because the case is to the wayside right now. And, you know, good, bad, and different, we have to put our hope, faith into Fadwa and to Kim and have them come up with a way that they can continue the torch, because I don't care what the money is. You and I didn't lose a child, you know, those people there did. And some of the children that are alive up there, not all of them, but I mean, several, you know, are having struggles to this day with comprehension and cognition. You know, that's not our child, but really is our child, right?
Well said.
Really, you know,
well said. Let me ask you this, man.
Go ahead.
Were you pursuing involuntary manslaughter charges against Governor Rick Snyder?
It's inappropriate for me to get there because what happens if they go there? So I've got a contract, and I said that I can't get into what charges I have. But Charlie, you were at the final closing argument for Nick Lyon. You saw where we were going. I mean, there was a multi-level investigation. There was the financial crimes investigation. There was the felony as far as other cases, the fraud cases, and then there were the people crimes, what I call the crimes for, you know, where there is injury that was caused to a human. And we had two teams, actually 3 teams, because we filed civil lawsuits that ultimately were dropped, but we filed civil lawsuits against the corporations for forfeiture, you know, prospects, and we filed our criminal aspects as far as the victim crimes go, and then we were working also in tandem on the fraud cases. One of the guys you may remember, I think I might have introduced him to you, or you knew him ahead of time, was Keith Corbett. I mean, Keith Corbett from the United States Attorney's Office. While he was there, he brought down some of the biggest money crimes and, you know, corruption cases in our country, right, was on our team. So we had a you know, a top-notch team. We were organized, we were systematic, and we were going at it.
Were you pursuing racketeering cases? A big organized crime sweep?
Well, it's not going to take a rocket science to figure out from your question and based on my answers what the heck we were going at. All you have to do is look at the information when we charged the emergency managers, right?
Yes.
And the golden handcuffs. Remember, the golden handcuffs was what? The fact that there was $125 million attached to switching the pipeline back to Detroit. They couldn't do it because of the administrative consent order, right? They would have had to pay back the 125. The boogeyman came to say, hey, listen, you guys need to pony up, Flint. And then the state DEQ said, okay, we'll let this happen. But you know what you got to do? Unheard of. You have to switch for you to be able to borrow $125 million, you all have to use the Flint water treatment plant, right? And the ACO was to fix what? A $500,000 problem. That was the lime sludge lagoon. But at the time, they weren't even using lime. So anyhow, that you see that, right, Charlie? You were on it. I mean, you were one of the first investigative reporters. I'm not just saying this to say this, but I remember when you were up on the river trying to find these corporations that came sweeping into town when other reporters were still sleeping at the switch. So at the end of the day, you saw the case, you saw where we were going, and I stand by our team. I stand by the work. But again, it's not about me. It's this case is not about you and I. This case is about those folks in Flint that need some love, justice, and for God's sake, they need to have new pipes put in all the way through Flint so they get healthy water today.
So let me translate that, Todd. Here's what you're hearing, folks. Yes, the investigation was going up to involuntary manslaughter on the governor's behalf. Yes, there was an organized crime racketeering case, which we never heard of once you got broomed. And finally, what a ton of horseshit, Madam Nessel. Because I knew this case before you saw one page. What do you mean there was nothing to prove? Todd Flood, Andy Arena, the whole crew had 15 people charged. You came back with half that number with the same or lesser charges. Give me a fucking break. There's no justice, and it's too late, Todd, because this attorney general didn't introduce a taint team, which is basically a third party when they're gathering documents to make sure there aren't privilege between the client and the attorney. So if they're going to refile these charges, they're going to have to take 2 years and $40 million by their own word just to bring evidence to a preliminary examination. It's over. Is it over, Todd?
I see an on-ramp. I see an on-ramp
Ooh, a
to
ray
it,
of light.
Charlie. I got some creative thoughts about how to do it.
Nobody wants to talk to you, Todd. You're fired.
Yeah, I know. But at the end of the day, I'm going to share my thoughts with Fadwa and Kim.
Now they want to talk to you.
Yeah, regardless if they do or they don't. I'm going to send them anyway. But at the end of the day, the key here is what I said in the very beginning, the advice I received in the very, very beginning was Flood. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. So that was my mantra all the way through. All the way through was to do everything right, by the book. We worked with the federal government. We worked with the House of Congress of the United States. We worked with the FBI. So in the U.S. Attorney's Office here, and that was the mantra: do it and do it right.
My man. Okay, I promised that. You want to ask him anything, Karen, or you just find this?
Yeah, I'd like to, Todd, this is Karen Dumas. Just like what would have to happen for this to be reinstated? I mean, I know you just kind of gave a thumbnail, but what are the trigger points that would have to occur in order for this to be brought back to a point where the people could possibly realize some degree of justice?
All right. So the key here is the Michigan Supreme Court said you have to have for the defendant's preliminary exam. That's what we did. So you first have to afford them a preliminary exam. Then from there, you have to, Charlie brings up the point about the taint, right? So the taint issue is this. It's the Oliver North case. When Oliver North was testifying in front of Congress on the Iran-Contra affair, he was giving compelled testimony, and that compelled testimony is taint, right? U.S. Attorney's Office could not use that material in their prosecution of that. So the U.S. Attorney forced all of his agents and assistant U.S. attorneys in the Watergate Hotel to stay there and be sequestered. Here in this particular case, what you would have to do is you would have to be able to show what was privileged. Then from there, that was exposed, and if it's relevant to the case, then you have to prove by a clear and convincing evidence, a standard that's used, that it's not being used to prosecute the case. If it is, then you have to bring in somebody that is not exposed to that taint and have them prosecute the case from the preliminary exam standpoint.
So let me say this. Does this sound like a dope? Does this sound like a guy that bumbled the case?
No, of course not.
Are you fucking kidding? Now, I'm going to say this, and then we're going to move on to, I'm going to give you the last word after I say this. Those of you in this media hole, the ones that call these politicians your friends, the ones you drink wine with, shame on you. That's why you don't drink with them. You must, like Todd's talking about, the wall. There must be a wall between who you cover and the people you cover them for. If you're going to drink with somebody, drink with the public, not the public official. Todd, man, you did God's work. I hope they listen to you this time around.
Charlie, you do God's work. Keep it up, and keep the fight up. I appreciate you.
Sorry for
Thanks.
yelling at you this morning.
I'm used to it by now, Charlie. I'll talk to you later.
It's all right, brother. Thank you.
I think you can handle that. What a mess.
That doesn't make any sense, though, Charlie. It just sounds crazy to have invested that kind of time, that type of money into. He, Andy, and I know some of the people that were on that team. That was a crackerjack team. There's no reason to dismiss all the work that was done. That doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you what, some of these emergency managers were cooperating. And then candidate Nessel shows up and says, I'm going to throw it all away. Right then, it was zippered and they stopped cooperating. So way back in the day, did candidate Nessel obstruct justice?
That's a really interesting.
Now you want to be reelected. Let me remind you you're the worst attorney general I've ever seen. I know you're listening. Let me see. Flint, the refusal to look into nursing homes. Lou Ann Simon, the president of Michigan State University that you said knew about the Larry Nassar case. That went to court. The judge, a liberal Democrat, called it a sham investigation. There was no evidence. You brought it just to lift your profile. What about the USA gymnastics coach that was charged with human trafficking of these young athletes? Yep. You let him turn himself in, but before he got there, he blew his brains out at a rest stop. My God, what else I got on here? I just wrote it this morning. What about the governor of emergency powers that you fought for the Constitution of Michigan to be suborned and that Whitmer would have had dictatorial powers? You lost that one. Line 5, the easement, that 60-year-old easement, we don't honor anymore. You lost that one. Duggan in his emails. Duggan, his girlfriend, swinging city money. They delete them all. You say they weren't deleted because we recovered them. They were deleted. You let him walk. What about the Midland Dam? Yeah. You sued so water wouldn't be released when you got word that there was pressure on the dam. That's your record.
What can she possibly hang her hat on? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, she might not have to. We're going to have to get a whip of this Republican dude.
Sure, but she's gonna
who's being accused by former clients as a lawyer of fraud.
His own firm.
He might lose his license.
But that's where people find themselves between literally a bad decision and even worse a decision. In terms of choices, and where does that leave? Where does that leave the public?
Yeah.
Well, you heard how low flood was when we went to Flint, right, Zach? People are down, man. Where does it leave us? With our pants around our ankles. Water that smells like eggs.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give Eric Mays the last word here.
There's a lot of bullshit going on down here.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Wright, Mr. Drankovic, we'll be back.
Good.
Everybody knows what we do. We'll be back. And you're going to say something with your mouth. Now, let's move to something near and dear. Is the councilman with us?
He was up there. He popped up.
He's still here.
Popped off. He's there somewhere. There he is.
Unmute yourself, Mr. Detroit City Councilman Coleman A. Young II. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, sir. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. Thanks for doing the people's work. Okay, look, the skyscraper, Dan Gilbert, the Hudson's Project. He's trying to scrape up $60 million more from one of the poorest cities in America, and you're for it. Tell us why.
Well, I want to characterize it like that, and I reject that characterization.
Excellent.
Secondly, let me just say, here's the thing. So we're talking about 7,500 union jobs here. We're talking about 3,500 Detroiters that are working there currently. Now, if this does not go through, we'll be out of a job. And so I think that it's important for us to really understand the consequences of what's happening here. And the reason why I support things like this is not because of Dan Gilbert. It's not because of municipal tax policy or finance. It's because you're giving people an opportunity to be able to work. You're giving people opportunity to be able to get good, high-paying jobs to be able to feed themselves and their families. Something that would not have happened without this project. And without this project, those folks are going to be laid off. That's just a fact. You're talking about working mothers, you're talking about single families, you're talking about brothers, our sisters, our aunts who are working this job, who moved heaven and earth to get these. And remember, there was a time when black folks couldn't get in the union at all. So a lot of folks died for the right for them to have this opportunity.
Wait a minute, Coleman, are you talking about people working on the project, the development project? Or are you talking about
there's 7,500 workers on the site now.
There is?
Now?
3,500. Well, not now, because I don't know if they pause the project, but like during the site building project, 7,500. Everyone said it. Legislative Policy Division said that. The city.
Have you gone over to see though?
The Civil Rights Inclusionary Officer said that. Everyone said that.
And I'm only asking because Charlie's been down there several times. Channel 7 did a story, did a drone. Like there doesn't seem to be that many people working on the project that just does it. I'm just asking.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, I'm not familiar with the Channel 7 story, but I don't think that we should risk or play Russian roulette with 7,500 lives based on a windshield survey.
Well, what we're trying to lock down
is down and one time. So I don't know what
what we're trying to lock down is if that 7,500 number is even real. So, for instance,
everyone said that.
Well, everyone said it. Well, Dan Gilbert said that, and everybody else repeats it. But I'm not buying it.
Gilbert, though. That's not true. That's not true what you're saying. It's not true.
Well, it is true. That's where they get their numbers. Where do you think they get their numbers from? They get it from Dan Gilbert.
The Carpenter Millwrights is not Dan Gilbert. The Carpenter Millwrights has said that. That's the union.
Dude, there's 11 floors on. Okay, wait. Stop. Wait, no.
The Civil Rights Inclusionary Office that regulates this on a basis to follow the executive order of 2016-1 said that.
Okay.
So everyone who's involved in this is wrong, except you.
Okay, it's great. So here's what we say. Let's do this one. If you don't give him $60 million in tax breaks.
60 million more, because he got
$60 million more. If you don't give it to him, is this project dead?
Well, they said it's not doable.
Okay, time out right there. It's not doable. If the city doesn't give Dan Gilbert $60 million, this $1.4 billion skyscraper is dead. That stinks to me right there. Question number 2. Have you seen a blueprint? A real blueprint of what actually is going to get built? Or are they just asking? Have you seen a blueprint?
I have not seen the actual blueprint. I see rendering.
Not a rendering. Blueprints. Permits? No.
But wait a minute.
Hey, bro, I covered development in LA, Phoenix, Vegas, New York. That's how it works in the real world.
Every single analysis that has broken this down has shown you that there are 7,500 workers at this site.
We moved past that.
Where's
the blueprints?
Especially, every analysis is showing that.
But where's the blueprints?
If you want to convince yourself that water isn't wet and fire isn't hot and Die Hard is a Christmas movie, you can do that, and that's your business.
Okay, cool. Listen. I want to repeat
that these people are working these jobs.
Okay, cool. I want to repeat what you said. 1, you haven't seen blueprints, and 2, if we don't give him $60 piddling million, this thing's over. That's the breaking news, right? There are no blueprints that the city council's seen. And
that doesn't mean there's no blueprints, though.
Okay, so ask for them.
And BC issues construction permits.
Yeah, but
this is all through this process.
Do we respect you? Can you ask for us to see that stuff?
Well, I can ask you. I can ask for that. That's no problem.
I'd appreciate it.
I think we're kind of getting away from
7,500 jobs. Yes.
No, it's not just 100. It's not 100 jobs. It's 7,500 jobs.
7,500 jobs.
Wait, 2. Look, that's based on every analysis. Okay. Listen.
I am listening.
There's been $1 billion that's been spent.
Has there? Wait a minute. It's 11 floors tall. What do you mean $1 billion? Where's the billion?
This has been an analysis that's already been done.
The analysis.
Legislative Policy Division is putting this together.
So if we just get 60 million plus another 400 million, The other 90% of the skyscrapers going to show up?
$1 billion. It's $1 billion of his own money that's been invested. One, he's using this $60 million to secure the $400 million in loans that he needs to finish the project.
Okay, but he was supposed to have the loans back when we gave him the shit for $1 in the first place. He said that was part of the law. But now we find out there's no financing.
That's air rights, though. That's not the
air rights
project. The dollar is for air rights. That's not the project.
The air rights.
One. But
no, the dollar was for the whole 2-block footprint. That was in 2007.
No, it was not. It was for
it
the
was.
Air
That's
rights.
okay. What did Dan get how much did Dan get the land for?
Respectfully,
$1.
He did not get. No, that's the air rights above it.
Okay, then what did he get the land for? Nothing.
He spent $1 billion of his own money.
He spent $1 billion. And I only need 400 million more to actually build it.
Wait a minute. You
Sir,
said
that's not true. You just saying stuff right now. Respectfully.
Go ahead, Karen.
I don't even know. Never mind.
Go ahead.
No, because I mean, at first you said that he's invested $1 billion already, and then you
said that a couple times.
And then you. I'm sorry.
Of his own money.
$1 billion of his own money.
But if he's
I
already
just need 60 of yours.
he already has $200 million in tax breaks. Then 60 million almost becomes irrelevant. But I heard his spokesperson say the other day that if he did not get the 60 million, they were going to reevaluate their relationship with the city of Detroit, which sounded like a threat to me.
Sure did.
You can take it as that. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but you could definitely take it as that. Oh no, I'm not saying that's not happening at all. But let me say this. I just wanted to say this for everybody listening. Remember, costs have gone up due to inflation. So what was meant to be a $981 million project is now
with no blueprints.
Well, that's his fault for not finishing it.
Okay,
let me tell you something about construction. You're supposed to lock those costs in.
Yeah.
Done. Where's the steel?
Right.
Dan.
But inflation's at a 40-year high when diesel is up.
I know, but when you broke ground in 2017, you're supposed to lock in the fucking contract.
Let me ask this question.
And also, we have the pandemic that happened as well also. So,
we were there.
We did?
Let me ask you
those
this.
are costs that aren't locked in.
Hey, let me ask you this, because this may seem kind of pie in the sky, but you've got
at least something's in the sky.
You've got thousands of Detroiters that were overtaxed to the tune of $600 million.
Right.
And Mike Duggan came out and said, too bad we don't have any money. Is there anything underway to maybe give them some relief, some incentive to stay and as a compensation for that overtaxation, to keep them as residents and to prevent them from either leaving or become renters? Or is that conversation moot?
No, well, listen, remember, we're projecting to receive $71 million over 10 years, $450 over 30. If you look at all the projects in the aggregate, so the Monroe, the Hudson project,
publicly funded,
the Campus Martius
publicly funded,
as well, the Brook Tower,
publicly funded.
Building. Overall, that in 30 years,
they going into bankruptcy.
$73 million. So there are ways which you can do it. Now, remember, he's already giving $500 million to that's being handled by Wayne Metro. He's selling off stock right now.
Let's see it.
Councilman Young, what do you say to cynics that say, "Oh, well, the Rock Holdings"? Oh, he's still.
I didn't get
Well, no, but there's
make it clean then.
Okay. What do you say to the people that say, well, Gilbert has donated to 5 of these councilmen and they will just rubber stamp any kind of thing he wants because the vote has been delayed, I think 3 times now?
What I was in the middle of answering the first question and I didn't hear.
We cut you off because you're going over to this 500 million thing, which we could do.
I was explaining. I was trying to answer the question.
You're doing PR for the man. We didn't ask about this $500 million. Nobody can track.
Question and answer show.
Charity should be charity, no strings attached. Now, my point.
Is this a discussion?
Sir, I'm trying to explain. This is a unique.
You didn't let me explain.
This is a unique structure. He gets to capture the property tax, the sales tax, the income tax, the steel tax. There will be nothing left in the city bank to police the place. So what's up for the regular person? I'm going to show you a little something. Red and I, decided to go where the billionaire needs 60 million in change. What happens when a guy with no change is dying on the sidewalk? Is there anybody there to help him? Let's roll the tape.
Well, Dan's coming to the people. He needs another $60 million handout. But the thing is anybody around Dan's project willing to reach down and give a hand down to our people in need? So we asked comedian Detroit Red, play dead, see if anybody gonna help him.
You make good looking bum, Red. Okay, let's do me a favor. Walk across the street there and lean on that light pole. Go over there and be homeless. Go ahead, lay down on the ground there, bro. Go lay down there. Need a helping hand, my man.
Anybody gonna help out Red here? Hot sun.
We're doing candy.
Man all fucked up.
In the car.
Anybody?
Fire in his ear.
Okay, here come people with those downtown. I work for Dan Gilbert. Things hanging around their neck. Oh, nobody care about Red. All right, Red. Look, here comes a couple of nice dressed chicks. Why don't you moan a little bit? They're about 5 feet from you. Okay, start moaning, Red. Nah, they went around. Okay, here comes a guy. There you go. Go ahead, a little louder, Red. Nah, he don't give a fuck. Oh, here comes some police, too. Let's see if you can get help with the police. Now they got some place to be. Get the man dying on the sidewalk. And the police, go ahead, a little loud, real loud now. The guy in the scooter took the double look at you and took off.
It don't look like no 7,500 people working on that thing.
Man, this whole corner, he needs $60 million handout, but nobody can reach down and give the fellow man a hand. Put your hand out, Red, put your hand out. Put your hand out like somebody give you $1, bro. Nobody gives a fuck about sports. Did that chick just take a picture of him? Oh man, how cold has the heart become, Byron? Oh my Lord. Okay, Red, I want you to when I tell you, I want you to roll over.
Watch this, Karen.
Okay, go ahead, roll over now. On your back, do it quickly.
Karen, watch.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to help get this 60 million for Dan Gilbert's new skyscraper. They got 60 mil? No, 60 mil?
Do you like police?
Do I like police? I don't know if they like me.
No, they're not going to let you on the ground and they're going to come talk to you. And I don't want them to come talk to you.
Maybe they got the 60 mil for Dan Gilbert.
Where are you going?
Where am I going? Right back there till I get my 60 mil.
Oh, you're not.
Who's she?
I'm going to annoy you.
Well, maybe we can get them to give us 60 mil.
So now I'm pointing at Red, trying to get some attention, trying to wave some people to help this dying man.
Help him.
Kicking him.
Kick him a couple times, nobody gives a shit.
Dude, I kicked you, nobody cared. Get up. Nobody gives a fuck about you. I kicking you, nobody gave a fuck. Oh, fuck, that was great.
Coleman's still there?
Yeah, he's there.
How do you know? I can't see him.
I can see
Yeah, I'm here.
I know things you don't know, Charlie. I see you.
Karen got that 6th sense.
Yeah.
Well, what do you make of that, Councilman?
I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that at all. Yeah. I think that's why it's important for us to create these 7,500 jobs and put people to work. That's why I think it's important. That's what I make of that.
Okay, he stands by that. Now, I got breaking news for you, sir. Other business. It's the demolition again. We told you a few weeks ago that the feds demanded that the city test 200 sites to begin with this investigation. So those test results are in. Are you aware of them, Councilman?
No.
Okay, of these 200, they took a sample of 16, okay? Random sample. All of them were in breach of contract for not fully meeting quality standards. So 100% of these whole that we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars, 100% are shit. Now, 7 of the 16, nearly 50%, have levels of shit in them that are above environmental standards. The city is now informing neighborhood residents near these identified lots to avoid direct contact. That means the children who live next to this are told not to play in poison lots. That's the first step. That's one contractor. Do we have your word, sir, that you will get to the bottom of this and start busting balls on this administration? Because if there are 23,000 holes and so far 100% are shit, we got a Flint on our hands.
I just want to say part of the brownfield credits is to remediate environmental cleanup.
That's
so,
excellent.
I mean,
We're yeah, that's nice. We're on to this disaster.
But secondly, yes, absolutely. Yeah,
man, this disaster.
I'm just saying, you try to set yourself up on that one.
I have one other thing before we let him go. Speaking of tax credits, my understanding is that there's another request before you for a tax credit for a carriage house that is behind Bass Blue. That is, saying that the property is not being used and it's not usable, and in actuality, it's fully functional. Any indication on where council is going to go on providing a tax abatement for that?
I haven't seen that yet. I sit on the neighborhood community standing in a neighborhood community standing services committee. I haven't heard anything about that, but I'd definitely like to sit down and talk to you about it.
You mean it's a carriage house where a bunch of rich ladies have tea and cake, and they want $1 million?
That's the Bass Blue property, and
all right, Karen, come on now, Karen. We're going down. I just 23,000 fucking holes could be poisoned. And then Coleman's talking about brownfield tax bullshit and carriage houses. Babies, roll the tape.
I wanted to do that before you got to that, Charlie.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape. Roll it again. Roll it again. Roll it again. This is our babies. This is the future. This is Flint. What the fuck?
You filmed that 7 years ago.
6
years. Okay, 6 years ago.
I told you, Mike. What'd I get from you? Lawsuits? Now it's here.
It takes that long to figure that out.
Rest well tonight, dude, because
think about
I'm going to go find them again, Mike, and see how they're doing now.
Yeah.
Don't play in the fields, kid.
Wow.
What the fuck? That's why we need the money, Mr. Councilman. 60 million going a long way for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
Billionaire got his own money. He didn't show no blueprints, no financial statements.
Well, there was blueprints. That's not true.
No,
BC,
you said you didn't.
BC. I said I hadn't seen them. I didn't say they weren't.
Freedom of Information Act. I haven't gotten them.
That's
and by the way, they keep changing it. So how do we? Let's see it.
No, I'm staying consistent here. I could work with you on that. You're kind of asking me two different things at the same time.
Okay.
But what I do want to say is, as far as one, I just want to reemphasize this. I think it's very important that we understand that we are talking about 3,500 Detroiters who are working, who are making an average of $65,000 a year. And that's important because in Detroit, if you make more than $50,000 a year, the housing burden that you have where people spend more than 30% of their income on housing basically goes away.
Your job is not to create jobs. That's the private industry. Your job is to look out for the public bank. And it sounds to me like you don't have enough information to even be saying this. I'm sorry, point blank.
That's not true.
Send me the documents.
It doesn't create as much jobs as the private sector.
Oh, by the way, those jobs over there on the east side at the Mac assembly,
These jobs are, by the way.
they never materialized.
So
We got not one job out of that $450 million. Not one extra job. Enough.
Out of what?
Not one extra job down on Jefferson at the Mac, on the Mac assembly plant there, the Stellantis. There was 5,000 jobs there before. There's 5,000 jobs now. They promised us 10,000. We're not going to break even. The people are paying the wealthy. You want to build a skyscraper, build it. In Chicago, they built one. 70 floors tall. The land costs $110. No public subsidies. Done in 2 years. What's the excuse here? I don't buy it.
Let's stay on focus here. Let's keep like the main thing.
Super focused.
Thing you asked me about Hudson Project.
Yep.
That's something to talk about.
I'm just giving you some comparatives, sir. Information is power.
Let me ask you this.
It better be good. It better be good.
Let's assume what I'm saying is true. Let's just assume.
What? No, that's not how you do government.
Let's assume what I'm saying. Let's assume what I'm saying is true.
Okay,
what
I'm game.
Is the alternative for those 7,500 union jobs?
Oh, here we go. I got it. I got your answer.
What is the alternative?
I got your answer. I got it. I got your answer. You ready for the answer? If I already spent $1 billion, I think I'm probably going to spend another 60, get my shit back instead of leaving a half-built skyscraper, which says to me, we're going to still have the jobs.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, everybody, if you're on social media, if that made sense, go ahead and type that in. Share.
Oh, I appreciate you. I love you, brother.
Oh, you know I love you, man.
It has nothing to do with what I said. So let's just move on.
Okay. Thank you very much. Great to have you. No, we're moving. You can hang out. We're going to have coming up next, Chief James Craig, now running as a write-in candidate for governor. Are you there, sir?
I am here, Charlie. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, for sure. Thanks for being. You're a mensch, man. You're a mensch. So, what'd you think so far of our discussion of public affairs, Mr. Governor Wannabe?
Well, very interesting. I got to tell you, one of the things that drew me into this morass of politics is, political servants versus public servants. I think a lot of politicians forget they work for the people. And one thing I've known, 44 years in law enforcement, public servant. It didn't matter what my political affiliation is. That's why I find it so interesting when I did come out and say I was a Republican running for governor.
You came out?
All of a sudden, the NAACP chair president said, "Oh, he hid that from us." But when I last looked, and I've been a chief in 3 cities, in not one interview did the appointing authority ever ask me, "What's your party affiliation?" And every city I worked in was a Democrat-run city.
Let me stop you right there.
What difference should that have made based on your qualifications and your commitment and your performance? And let's not forget, this administration started out with a Republican back in Livonia. So let's not get this convoluted.
Wait a minute. Wait. You, sir, make some news. Are you in fact a Republican?
No, I came out with it right when I made the announcement. Yes, I'm a Republican.
You came out as a Republican.
Stop saying
it was Pride Month. I wasn't sure.
Let me back up. I was a Republican long before I announced running for governor, and I talk about the transition.
I get it.
You said what?
I get it. But now, after you got to look at this Republican thing here, really, you see how messed up this Republican Party is in this state?
Politics are messed up. I'm just going to be candid with you. Our state's divided. Our country's divided. Now, I will tell you who I love and support, the voters. A lot of the issues that face our state, are nonpartisan. When you talk about inflation, nonpartisan. When you talk about rising gas, nonpartisan. When you talk about a governor who fails to not disclose the $8.3 billion fiasco regarding unemployment insurance.
Hey guys,
that's called accountability.
Yes, Coleman.
It's called be transparent.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, this is my segment, Coleman.
No. I just want to say I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta go.
No.
I love you guys. I just want to say I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I just want to say
Thank you so much, Coleman.
I gotta go. That's all I'm saying. I gotta go. I appreciate. Go ahead, Chief. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity.
Well, the chief can say what he likes, but at least you got elected and got the signatures. Chief,
well, that is true.
How bad was your campaign? Like the Republican Party gave you the original infrastructure. How bad were they? They failed you. You were by far and away the front runner.
I was a front runner substantially, consistently, not some of the time. And even when compared to the incumbent governor, some said I was at a dead heat. Some said I was a little bit behind. Some said that she was ahead at times by a few points. But here's what was exciting. When they did a couple of the polls, independents showed me 17% ahead of Whitmer. One did. Another said 8%. So I saw that as a lot of opportunity. The direction of the campaign early on, someone who has never been a politician, I mean, there's some things I would do if I had to do it all over again. There would be some things I would do very differently.
You would have listened to Karen and me.
I probably would have listened to you.
Yeah, that's
but you know,
that's what I would have done.
Since I'm a person who's never been a politician, you hire so-called professionals that understand how the machine works.
And how'd that work out? How'd that work out? I mean,
it didn't work out. It didn't work out very well. I mean, I have example after example.
Jeez, man.
This is not me throwing anybody under the bus right now.
Just throw one person under the bus. Just one.
No, I'm not going to do it. You know
well, the
why?
bus is here. I mean, one.
Yeah, the bus is here. but let me just say this. So as you know, we filed a lawsuit against two of the petition companies. The one company that had the dirty criminals that were forging. So I'm hoping we can peel back and get to the bottom of it. But I want to read a brief statement from my attorneys because this is mind-blowing to me.
Excellent.
Mind-blowing.
These aren't the attorneys that called you Chief Clark.
No.
Okay, you got to get rid of them too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know. That was troubling.
Yeah.
So they say in part, most serious and far-reaching petition signature fraud to have ever been perpetrated against a major candidate and voters. Emphasis on voters. This fraud wasn't just about what was perpetrated against me. It's about what happened to our voters. And you're right. I should have known that one, as a front runner consistently, I had a big target on my back. I was so close to the governor, I had a big target on my back. But what I found amazing, Charlie, and we talked offline about this, is that when the first attack, it came from a super PAC of one of my Republican competitors for the gubernatorial race.
Tudor Dixon.
Right.
Yeah.
First attack came from there. And so, but the soul, I was the only person. Of course, she was polling 2% and 3%, and I was in the 32 to 34%. So I get it. I'm a target. And then the next day, of course, as you know, Democrats filed their complaint naming me, Perry, and Tudor. Okay. So there's a lot to unpack. And I tell you, Charlie, I want to get to the bottom of it because there's a lot I don't know. I can sit here and speculate. This was planned, no doubt about it, because I became a threat. And you said something early on, and I don't disagree with you. And I'm going to talk about the voters. The voters, Republicans, Democrats I've run into, independents, great people. The people that invested in me as a candidate, great people. I don't like the mechanics of the party.
Boom. Wow. Wait, write that down. That's news. James
I
Craig
don't
does
like
not
the mechanics of the party. And
neither does the party, actually.
But it's divided. It's no secret. It's been many articles written about the division. And it's too bad because here's what's a little bit of common sense, especially coming from someone who's never been a politician. Why not get behind a candidate who can potentially unseat this governor. Look, as it stands, it's very difficult to unseat an incumbent. It's also very difficult when the incumbent has a big purse. Big purse.
What'd you say?
A big purse, meaning lots of money.
Oh.
Lots of money.
Like, be careful, sir.
No. When I say a big purse, I'm talking about money.
I got it.
Let me be clear.
Yep.
I'm talking about money. And I guess one of the eye openers for me is, and I've heard it many times, money is the oil that keeps the engine running of a candidacy. It just does.
And you don't have any.
And when you got two self-funded candidates in it,
yep,
and the rest of us were not self-funded, the other part
is anybody sending you money for your writing campaign?
It's not like it was, Charlie. In fact, if we're getting anything, and I'm being candid, if we're getting anything, we're getting some small donors online, and I appreciate that. But and I'm also appreciative that we just launched a few of our signs up strategically around Metro Detroit. But to be candid, and people have told me this, a write-in candidacy takes lots and lots of money.
Yes, sir, it does. It's not happening. It's not happening. You know it.
Well, let me just say this.
It's such a tall road. Why didn't
it's a tall road, but here's what I believe. I don't know what the final outcome will be. I'm at a disadvantage right now, of course. The thing that helped me tremendously throughout the campaign up until getting taken off the ballot was name recognition. That's no secret. Even the self-funded candidates, the Rinkies and Johnson.
Who?
They were Kevin Rinke and Perry Johnson.
Who? $7 million for nothing, motherfucker. Jesus. Jeez. Right.
And how much did he move the needle?
Well, you earned it. A long career in public service. You earned it. I'll say that. And I give you a lot of credit here because I bust your balls, man. Bust.
But you know what, Charlie? Let me say this, and I've said this before because I consider the chief a friend. I have respect for him, who he is, and what he's done. But it takes a lot. This is what public service is supposed to be about. You have, poked at the chief over time, Charlie. You've brought out some information that deserved answers. And the chief has never run from bringing you those answers. And now he's sitting here. This is what it's supposed to be about. Charlie has invited Dana Nessel. Charlie has invited the governor. Charlie has invited the mayor and other elected officials. As an elected official, you don't have the right to say no when there's someone trying to hold you accountable. So again, my level of respect for you, Chief, has elevated. I appreciate you being here. I'm sure you saw the spoof that was done last week with your permission and out of love, but it takes a lot to come here, not knowing, what Charlie has in his arsenal, what questions are going to be thrown before you, and put forth the best effort to answer those. That's what the public deserves.
They do deserve it, Karen. And I appreciate your comments. I really do. The public deserves it. And this is why I'm so appalled when our governor avoids the tough questions. She hides behind the hush money she gave the director that, conveniently resigned. He got $80,000 or whatever he got.
$155,506.05.
Okay, you got better information than I do.
That's why nobody wants to go, because Charlie knows.
The problem
and a state-funded lawyer.
I have with that, does the public deserve to know why?
Yes.
It was so flawed. I mean, look, stuff will happen. It just does. And when it does happen, all the community wants to know from you is one thing. What are you doing about it? And what assurances are you going to make that we don't have a reoccurrence?
Boom.
Yep. It's just that simple. And that's what transparency really looks like. And so, but I also learned a big lesson through this process. You want to run for office, especially a big office, you better come with some deep pockets, big purse. You got to.
And we'll leave it at that.
How you started this interview, Chief. You said people get confused about, public office and public service.
Yes.
I mean, part of public service is being made or making yourself available to the people that elected you and to the people that you serve. Maybe you don't have the answer that they want to hear, but they deserve an answer and accessibility. And to run from that, you don't have a right to say no comment. You don't have a right to pick and choose who you talk to in the media because they're playing softball with you. That's not how this is done.
That's not how we're going to do it. Hey, Chief.
Yes, I'm here.
Can we play the spoof and watch you watch it? Yeah, go ahead.
Yesterday's newspapers.
Let me tell you something. I'm a cop, and I'm not going to stand for this. This is crap, and I'm a cop.
And?
That's it. I'm a cop.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, you know yourself as a quality guru, but you spent $7 million of your own money, which amounts to about $333 for every phony signature. What does that say about your executive acumen?
Well, the fact of the matter is a practical matter. This is all scratch and sniff electoral fraud. The chief's correct when he says it's bullcrap. I mean, I know we turned in thousands of phony signatures. I know that. You know that. We all know that. But which ones are phony? I don't know that. You don't know that. Nobody knows that. And that's why we should be on the ballot. Now, I brought some examples of these so-called forged signatures. Smell that, Real?
It's okay. It's okay, sir. You can sit down. I'm good. You can sit down. It's okay. I want to throw this to Charlie Langton. Charlie, you're a lawyer. What do you make of all this?
You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Ruth, just let me say this.
I know you're a cop.
Don't interrupt me. I want to make an exclusive announcement right here on Lady Rip. I'm launching my write-in campaign because I'm the best candidate to unseat Governor Gretchen Whitmer. But also, I'd like to announce my running mate right here. Johnny Walker Blue. I know Johnny, I like Johnny, and I trust Johnny. He's with me everywhere I go. And let me tell you this, blue labels matter, Ruth, and I'm a cop.
You heard it here, folks, right here on Let It Rip, Blue Label Matters.
Can I get some money?
That really wasn't bad, was it, sir?
It was funny.
Well, you know what? That's the deal. Like, you see Saturday Night Live, right? You made it when you're getting spoofed, and I don't know why people aren't doing more spoof.
Well, we live in a very different time right now, Charlie. And even when I made the comment about Big Purse, you know, some people might have taken it as I was being.
Oh no, that was me. That was me being an asshole. No, dude, totally. No, nobody took it.
And so, but what I'm saying is, this is the environment. We can't have candid conversation. And I did mean what I said. The fact is, yeah, I would like to get to the bottom of this. I'm optimistic, and I hope that Attorney General does a thorough job on this investigation.
Fat chance.
And if she does, maybe we can find out what really happened. There is more to it. I just know. I mean, I'll say it again. I've been a cop.
So you know when the shit's not smelling right.
Oh, it's definitely not smelling right. And I think the people that have approached me, they all said, you got robbed. What happened was wrong. People are smart. And the fact is, when you're a front runner, I mean, I expected an attack and attacks. But this one, no, I didn't. And, you know, I know something, I don't know if it was you, Charlie, or someone said, you know, well, even when they talk about Perry, talk about me, we hire these professional campaign folks to do the work, do it ethically, make sure that there's accountability. And it went wrong. And where was the real accountability? I mean, Gretchen Whitmer got what? 30,000 signatures.
Nobody challenged those.
Nobody did.
Why?
And I got to believe, and see, the other part of this is so troubling. So you arbitrarily take away roughly half of my signatures, because even admission on the part of Detroit Board of Elections, the staff, they said, hey, if one page had a bad signature, we invalidated the whole page. We've never done it that way. So they made up their rules as they went along and then said, well, technically what we're supposed to do is to validate every signature. They didn't do that.
That's true. But there is a silver lining. You were the front runner. You can always tell your grandchildren about, you don't have any grandchildren, but you can tell my grandchildren that you were the front runner and you never had to do the stinking job. Who really wants that stinking job? These are impossible jobs. They really are. So,
well, these jobs are tough and you got to have a certain wiring. Being a chief of police in a city like Detroit is tough.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you don't do the job. Do I think that the governor job is not a tough job? Absolutely. With everything that's going on, but there are some things that can change. And I believe that.
But you know what, Chief? When you publicly indicated that you were a Republican while you were still holding the office of chief, then you started getting a Democratic alignment to go against whatever it is that you were going to do. Let me say it that way. Those ducks started lining up then to undermine whatever it is that you were going to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, surprise.
I was
it's
a friend,
politics.
I was a friend to many up until that point. And quiet as kept, Karen, I will offer this. There are a number of folks, and some, by the way, who are Democrats who are sitting in elected seats. They're Democrats who have privately come to me and said, look, I can't wave a flag of support for you. But what I can do is just not support the governor. So there are a number of people, and they didn't have to come up and say that to me. I believe it. And so people just want someone who's going to do the job for the people. And they're sick and tired of politics as usual. It's dirty. It's a blood sport. People told me that at the beginning. I didn't know what they meant when they said blood sport.
It's a dirty game.
And it doesn't have to be dirty. And the reason why it doesn't have to be dirty, hey, let's put it all on the line. And, I'm going to tell you this. I think, and I get the whole notion that people with money, self-funded candidates can get in the race. But part of assessing a candidate's ability, to get good, polling results consistently. The other thing that doesn't get often talked about, I was certainly leading fundraising among those candidates who were not self-funded. Now, I couldn't compete with a Perry. I couldn't compete with a Rinke. That wasn't the issue. The issue was, what was it about me as a candidate that resonated with folks, and they wanted to see me succeed.
I'll tell you what, there was tens of thousands of fake people that really lined up. I'm clowning with you. Listen, thanks for your public service. Give us the website where people can donate, please.
It's chiefjamescraig.com, chiefjamescraig.com. And also for the write-in candidacy, as I indicated, we started putting up billboards. So you got to spell my name correctly. And I told you this offline last week, Charlie, when you first invited me to come on. I was talking to a bunch of reporters, and I said, they got to spell my name correctly. They got to put James Craig, Craig. I said, I don't think they're going to be able to get away with just putting Chief or Chief JC or just Craig or Black Man, because I am the only black man in this race.
Or Hollywood. You can't put that
right, Hollywood down there.
Is that spelled with a capital B, sir?
So
yes.
I don't think I'm going to get any credit for those different iterations of what describes me, but
well, that's the music playing. So you get credit for coming on this program and having some balls. You get credit for your long career in public service. And I'm going to find my way over to Sinbad's, and I'm buying the first round.
All right, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Take care. Thanks for having me on the show again.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
Are you welcome? Bye now.
Have a terrific holiday.
Do. Have a good one.
Okay. Love you, Karen.
Love you back, Charlie. Bye.
Bye now.